Yeah, great.
Uh,
Of
Actually,
course.
it helps me also to Yes, good morning, Raj. How are you?
Good morning, sir. I'm
So,
fine, thank you. And how are you?
doing well. Thank you once again for asking. And it's so nice to see you after 2 or 3 days. Yeah, it's
Yeah, we
good.
talked in last week.
Yes, we talked last week, right? And yeah, it's so surprising to see you book a session after just 2 or 3 days. Good. So nice to see you again. Right. How are you doing? How's the weather there? Out here, it's terrible. It's raining and it's foggy and it's cold. How's the weather there?
Here it is also terrible. It is sunny. It's not raining at all.
You see that just goes to show that we as human beings are never satisfied with what we have, right?
Of
Yeah.
course.
Right now we are
And
dying for sunshine. Mhm.
and we are dying for rainfall.
Yes, you can come here and take some from here and lend us some sunshine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because
we will have to visit one other's place.
yes, I will visit your place with all my wet clothes, all my washed clothes, because my clothes are not drying. Yeah,
Hmm.
because it's raining here. It's been raining here since the past 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
Okay, and how have your sessions been going? You've been doing pretty well in your sessions because
Yeah,
you've got a good.
it's been going great.
Mhm.
Yeah. Sorry.
You've got a wonderful feedback from the previous tutor. So yeah, the feedback was that yes, you're making negligible mistakes and you're speaking well, and just a bit on vocabulary and probably just the pronunciation you can slightly work on. Otherwise, everything is going really well. Right? I was so happy to read that.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh
And
yeah.
I think that I have been getting,
Hmm.
especially the correction part, that I'm not making mistakes.
Right.
The kind of feedback I have been getting for a longer time now. So
Oh,
I need to focus more on the other aspect of English, the
right. You need.
pronunciation and confidence, the voice modulation and all that.
Right,
And we
right.
have been
And
discussing
mhm,
about this in
right,
last session as well.
right. But you are doing really well. I would say that all of a sudden to come out of the way that you are so accustomed to speaking and start using your voice and voice modulation, it's pretty difficult to do that because
Yeah,
we are
sure. It is.
as Indians are not very accustomed to speak that way, right?
You're right.
Yeah,
Of course. I
even
mean,
yeah.
sometimes even watching some that kind of content make us feel
Mhm.
that it is it really happens. I mean, do
Right,
we really? I mean, can we really talk like this? So, like, I was
absolutely.
watching an American show, and I felt like if I talk like this, there's
Mhm.
not at all conversation. It seems like acting. You are speaking aloud and all, and somebody would feel that instead of speaking, you are trying to shout and do all kinds of stuff in
Right.
your conversation. So it sounds sometimes it sounds dramatic to us.
Absolutely. Yes, you're absolutely correct. It sounds very dramatic. However, that's the way people speak the language, and that's the way
Yeah,
we
of
need to
course.
speak the language, right?
Right,
Yeah, not just English, but I would say even our mother tongue, it's devoid of all those emotions unless we are really angry. Then we put all the
right.
emotions into our intonation and our modulation, everything, right? Then we'll be, oh, what are you doing? That thing. But yes, besides that, it's our conversation and our voice is almost devoid of all emotions and it's devoid of any feelings completely, right?
Right, right.
Okay, great. So I have something planned for you today, right? So this is something that I do with my daughter also, and she's just an 8-year-old
Okay.
child, right? And so, but don't think otherwise,
Yeah.
okay? Don't
Yeah, yeah, great.
uh,
Of
actually,
course.
it helps me also to broaden my imagination and my creativity while speaking. right?
Right.
And I also do this with children, and generally I do this with kids. But it's a very good exercise to practice and your creativity and your imagination, and yeah, just to let it go wild, right? And be absolutely inhibited while speaking.
Right, right.
Okay,
And
right.
before we move on, I would like
Yes,
to say that I have seen even 8-year Indian kids, like
right.
those who get their the kind of ambience of
Hmm.
speaking English at home. They
Right.
they they speak too, I mean, too fluent and too well. So I won't think
Yes.
otherwise if you do this practice with 8-year-old kid.
Okay, yeah, yeah, it was necessary to say that because sometimes people take it
Yeah.
as an offense. Oh, why is he doing
Oh,
that with me?
no,
I'm not
no.
a kid. Okay, so what we will do, we'll do it together. We'll try to build a story. Okay, we'll
Okay.
try to build a story. What and how we will build it is very simple. I will say one sentence, and then you go on to the next sentence of the story, right? And then I'll go on
Okay.
to the next sentence, and then you go on to the next sentence. So we'll try to guide the story into whichever direction it is going. Okay, and we'll try to be
Okay. Okay.
as connected to the first sentence that the other person has spoken, right? We'll try to be as
Right.
connected to that, and we'll try to get the story in with a very good flow. Okay.
Of course.
Right. Sometimes what happens is both the people have so many different ideas. One person tries to take the story somewhere else, and the other person tries to take the story somewhere else. So sometimes that gets really interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sure.
so let's start. Do you want me to start, or would you like to start first?
Uh, Let it be a starting from your side.
Okay. So I'll say one sentence and I'll stop, and then the next sentence is yours. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Great. One day it was very cloudy and it was raining heavily. There was no one on the street, and the street was filled with water.
And I was seeing all this from the window of my house, and I felt like I should not go outside at all.
That was my logical brain telling me. However, my more curious brain and my more inquisitive brain somehow told me to step outside.
Uh, and even I felt that I will have to go because there is something important which need to be taken from outside. And for that I had to go. So I was looking for some way that I should go outside, but I should come back without harming myself.
So I searched the house for an umbrella and realized that all the members of my family had taken all the umbrellas, so there was no umbrella available at that moment. So now I was in a dilemma. How should I go out?
And to come out of that, I decided that I have not taken even the shower. So let me go outside and have a shower in the rainy weather itself. So I changed my clothes. I wear a short and a t-shirt. Just and after that, I took a plastic bag with me so that whatever I purchase, I should keep that in my bag and come back home.
Okay. I stepped outside in my shorts and my t-shirt, and as I looked up at the sky, it stopped raining.
And
Continue.
I felt like all my plannings went in vain. I will have to take shower again in my bathroom only. But I was quite happy that even if it is not raining, it's okay because taking a shower outside in the rainy weather is gets sometimes risky as well, and I am allergic to that as well.
Right. So, being aware of this, I waded through the clogged street, the water clogged streets. However, as I was walking through, in a distance, I saw an electric wire sparkling.
And I felt frightened because it was uh, not only rainy, but the cloud was full of water. So I felt that if that wire drops or fails, it would be really troublesome. How would
Right.
I be able to save not only myself but the others as well? Because I saw some kids were also going in that direction, and
Okay.
it would have really become troublesome.
Right.
So I thought, and immediately I called the electric department, electricity department.
And as I was on the phone, I realized that the phone was busy. I could not get through. However, being lucky, the electricity department was on my way. So I decided to drop in. As I walked into the electricity department, to my shock, I realized and I noticed. Okay, continue.
That even after all these things, the electricity has not been cut and the wire is falling down. But in nick of time, they acted well, and the electricity was cut from the main line. And when the wire fell in water, it was no problem at all for us.
I
We
felt
quickly
re-
solved.
I felt like a superhero for alerting the authorities about it, and I went to the market. When I reached the market, I everyone was looking at me very strangely.
And I thought of doing my work and go back to my home again. And in between, I felt like, yes, I have done something important today. Though I was not willing to come outside of my home, but I think I did a good job, not only by coming outside, but after handling the situation as well.
Oh wow, excellent! So you've returned home now.
Yeah.
Okay, a long story cut short. Good, good. Raj, tell me, what did you feel?
It went well. It
Mhm.
was super.
Right. Even I feel that it went really good. It went well. I was really trying to track you somewhere, and I was trying to push you in a different direction, a tragic direction. I enjoyed the way you came out of the tragedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to trap you. I wanted that wire to fall in the water and a few people to get electrocuted. Yeah, but you very easily and very smoothly saved everyone, and you also saved the electricity department. Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
was yes, good. I was trying to blame everything on them, and
No,
but Raj, so
that is the job of media only.
I, I was doing the job of the media.
Uh,
Yeah, good, excellent, excellent. Okay. Well done. What I noticed is that yes, you were in the flow and you did exceptionally well. Sometimes, though, during the conversation or during the story, right, you seemed to be slightly confused, but it's absolutely natural because it's just
yeah,
something we are going on adding, and we actually are not heading in a particular direction. We don't know where to go, right?
of course.
Right. Now,
And
this
I sometimes I was running short of words as well. That
absolutely.
I was looking for appropriate word, but then I thought that no matter which word I use, it should be in continuity.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, this kind of an activity, it also gives you a very good way of building on your vocabulary, being very descriptive about certain things, right? Being very
Yeah,
expressive about things. So, this is one of those activities. That's why we generally do it with children, right? So that
right.
right from the word go, they are able to express themselves and they can build up on their vocabulary because you're only
Yeah,
doing
sure.
things to describe things, right? You're only saying things that are very descriptive, right? Excellent, good, well done, Raj. I really like that. Okay, Raj, is there anything
And
particular? Yes.
And I
This is-
got another idea. I can
yeah.
apply this to my students as well.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yes, you can do that. In fact, as I told you, I apply this with my kids, right, with my students also. And it's a
Yeah,
wonderful way. You know what you can also do? You can, if you have a class, let's say, of 4 or 5 kids, right, instead of you taking part, you can divide the sentences between those 4 or 5 people.
yeah, right,
Another very fun game that you, and it teaches, it helps you a lot with your sentence construction, right, sentence formation,
right.
is if you, when you are in class, you can tell your students that we're going to build sentences. Now the way you are supposed to build a sentence is very simple. Each person says only one word, right? So
Right.
for example, let's do it right now. For example, if I say that I, now the next word is yours. So now we need to build a sentence. So if I start with
Okay.
I, the next word you are supposed to say.
Want to,
I want to
want to
eat.
healthy food, but I generally end up eating junk food.
Okay. Now you
I
you
complete.
you
I
you completed the
completed
whole
the
sentence, but
sentence.
yeah, keep it at just one word per person, right?
Yeah, right,
So
right.
this kind of exercise, it helps the students and it helps the learner to start building the right formation of sentences, to start making right formations of sentences,
Right.
right? There's one person, then one person may use a pronoun. So what will come after a pronoun, right? One is saying the subject, then one is saying the verb, one is saying the object. What else can we add there? So they need to be, they need to be on their toes continuously, and they need to continuously keep forming those sentences,
Yeah,
right?
right.
So that's another fabulous way of doing it, right? You can also ask them to make up a song, right, where one person says just one word or one sentence, right? You can build a song. For example, if I say that today the weather is extremely pleasant, let's try a song. Today the weather is
Uh,
extremely pleasant. Let's get another
and
sentence from you. Yeah.
okay. And I feel like dancing
Yes, my heart sings
outside.
to, yes, my heart reaches to nature and sings joyously. Next sentence from you.
And I feel like that I should have been in mountains because this weather is just pleasant, gets aggravated